the dawn of day 3? Day 4?
It's the dawn of the third day.
I believe, yeah, it's the dawn of the third day. 24 hours remain. No.
Oh no.
As the dawn of the third day arises on the cool but still yet humid island of Catalan. Wait, no, hang on, sorry, wrong island. Island of Mediasa. Catalan is just to the south.
We got teleported again.
We are not.
No.
Teleported.
We are not teleported.
Sorry, there are 2 islands very close to one another, and you're on one of them.
Yeah, if we were on the other, we would be with the Fog of War campaign.
Indeed, which I'll be hearing Sunday at 11:30. Sorry, not 11 a.m. It's whatever.
Shameless plug!
Yeah, shameless plug is shameless.
we're
Whatever.
plugging?
Either way, eventually we'll get started.
Hopefully.
God, this has been a great fucking start to the session. As the sun slowly creeps in across the horizon, and a few, god rays do peer in through the leaf fronds, kind of door that you basically put in front of your hovel, that kind of glare, they peek through just in the right spot so it catches you right in the eye.
Oh, that hurts.
Does the world hate me?
Yeah. You wake up, but then you just see, Paimon, your little white mouse friend, just next to you, just seemingly have, dug their own little tiny hole in the side of the tunnel, and they're seemingly just kind of, poke their head out of it.
Good morning, Paimon. Today we start, day 3 here? Oh, God, should I have never left? And he just kind of, moves his body so he's up, and you just hear, a loud crack as he just, flexes his back muscles and, bends backward. Because Vetzel is very flexible. Vetzel the pretzel, everybody.
Now the initial sunrise starts to peek its way in through the doorway of the sort of wattle and daub, mud and wood kind of hut that the party has made for themselves to at least keep, get out of the elements out in the middle of presumably buttfuck nowhere in the middle of the swampland. Eventually, both also Zoman and Gregor, the gnome wizard and human rogue, I believe it is actually specifically, as they both get up, at least get up from their positions with not really much of a bedroll to sleep on, but nonetheless, Zoman the gnome just casts prestidigitation, and there's just a bit of a puff of purple smoke as it just blasts the dust out of his hair. Ugh. Good morning.
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 I suppose we folks should get to get bright and early to start working. So he's just trying to wipe off some of the dust.
Omen's actually gonna ask something.
Yes?
Alright, now, I don't want to be that type of person, but this has to be addressed one way or another. But Zoman, Gregor, I want to ask, how many weeks or even months do your team basically mark you as MIA if you haven't responded into any call?
Well, to be honest with you, as Gregor perks up, this was a personal expedition spearheaded by me personally, so unless we were able to make contact back with the mainland, there is no search party.
So they don't even know that your ship crashed?
Unfortunately not.
It's almost like no one's supposed to fucking be here.
We left port probably about less than half a week or so ago, making our way over to the island. And then from there, a few days ago, when we actually shipwrecked.
So then, hypothetically, what happens if a person such as yourself and your team, your expedition team, went missing for over a month?
Eventually there might be a search team. If there is, presumably, at least our families, at least my parents would put out a bounty for finding my whereabouts. As for the others, I'm afraid I don't know much about the family situation between 2 of our other compatriots. But again, we don't know how long exactly that would end up being before they start taking note.
When we first met, we also have our own little personal business. Once we find your team, then we'll take it from there, shall we?
Well, with all due respect there, Omen, was it? Interesting name.
Yes.
I admittedly, while I can defend myself with my magic, I'm much more of a scholar than a fighter. So it would likely be a better situation to see if I can make contact with any of our other group members if they are still alive. And, well, with what spell slots I still have, I'll try to see if I can contact one of you folk to see if I can, well, relay anything. I do know the spell message, and I can at least relay some form of a location to us. I'm afraid we don't know our coordinates to really help on that matter, if they can even do anything off of that at this point. So most of our equipment is in the bottom of the ocean.
Let's get to it, everyone. It's time.
Alright.
Vetzel's going to try and walk up to the cabin, not get hit by the door. Well, I heard most of the plan, so I am assuming we are splitting up.
Well, Wit is currently down by the river using his small knife to shave off what little stubble he has currently.
Nice.
Well, the only form of us really splitting up really would be Zoman is staying back at the our base of operations here, I suppose if you like to call it that. To at least, man the fort while we're gone, and hopefully be able to protect himself from any sort of denizens and creatures while we're here. If nothing else, he can make a door.
Vetzel goes, "This is my first time being in this hut. I sleep in a hole outside.
You're the one who built this, right?
I mean, I helped construction, but after that, I went to hole and cried. This is first time being inside."
Alright, next time,
That's a roll an
please.
insight check.
That's a 13.
Gregor, as he's, the more and more he actually starts to wake up, the more and more you get more of that, flamboyant, confident grin on his face. Well, at least suppose there's a first time for anything if you'd like to get out of the dark, cramped, and wet hole that you've been living in. So, much more comfortable and dry in here.
I have lived in dumpsters. It is what I'm used to.
Well, life has its ways.
If it were up to me, there's nothing else like roughing it out in the harsh, terrifying wilderness and manning it on your own.
Oh, then do you know the fun game I used to make up, which is which rat is rabies and which rat is food? I used to play it in City.
Ah. Well, I suppose we should be off then. He starts walking.
I go ahead and pull Puck aside and say, are we gonna leave Amia here with Zoman?
Currently, Amiya just seems to be kind of brooding in the corner and just giving the biggest stink eye over to Zoman.
No offense to Zoman, but if Amia were to stay here, they'll be more, equipped to handle themselves.
As offensive as that may be, it is unfortunately true.
I'm very sorry you had to hear that.
Gnomes have very large ears,
Same goes as for half-elves.
I don't want to leave Amiya behind. Amiya is my friend.
But
We should move forth on this expedition.
We're running
Yes,
out
you
of
guys
time,
make
Puck.
a point. Okay.
Adventure
Alright.
waits. You can tell he's
Adventure.
really trying to get the party going.
Alright,
Gregor.
let's go. Alright,
Okay,
then.
sounds good. And I'll put my arm around him and kind of walk alongside him.
Absolutely, we must rescue our compatriots from the claws of death.
Adventure, Gregor!
I was just gonna say, Puck, how many of the poisons have you processed?
Got 2 venom and 1 mistletoe berry, and they were all poisons, what I remember.
Yes.
And then my last note is I have
and
one.
then you tried to process it, and then you failed. Yeah.
I'm still working on it, but I promise I'll come up with something real cool.
As
look
he
forward to
just
it.
slowly dumps the failed experiment into the grass.
It's like the fucking scene in Emperor Cusco. He dumps it on a plant. The plant coughs and
Yeah,
dies.
it sizzles a little bit.
Yeah. By the way, Gregor is going to actually start making his way further upstream. Well, at the very least, if we can reach the height where the mountain edge is, we might be able to reach a higher vantage point.
I mean, you can get a higher vantage point either way, but
Adventures
24-foot
happen!
wingspan.
Omen's doing scouting. Gregor's navigating. Is anyone doing any provisioning or prospecting for resources?
I can be provisioner for once.
Wit's gonna look for something to make that Puck could probably make some medicine out of.
Going to scout. Roll me a perception check. Natural 20.
Nice.
It is still somewhat further off in the distance. However, from what you can, see and hear, kind of scouting out about like a decent ways away out from the party, you're kind of keeping an ear out, and you, as you're making your rounds, you can kind of hear movement, or at least the signs of some kind of activity, to both the northwest of you, as well as southeast of you. However, with the natural 20, from the southeast, you can hear the activity is a bit more active, whether that be a bit more distressed and or angry. It's a bit hard to tell. Whatever it is, from what you can tell, it sounds like either someone or something is running from something, or there's just a large group of individuals moving very quickly to the north.
I tell this information to the party. Alright, so I heard something at southeast from here, and judging by the sounds, there's a lot of activity going down there. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's probably one of your crew members.
Could be one of my
It'll fly up,
is in
do his
danger.
thing,
Uh,
see if he can see any better over the trees.
I will say, just for the sake of this, flying overhead above the tree line, you can't see much else that compared to what you don't see anything else new compared to what Elman saw. Either way, as that occurs, I'm actually gonna roll to see who gets this message. So actually, it ends up being Puck. You do hear a voice in your head, surprisingly enough. Hello there, Zoman speaking. Just got a message from from our compatriot Catwayne, dwarf woman. Apparently is running from a large group of bugs, and they wish for help.